You get that division of like some people will probably come out and be like, he absolutely did the right thing, America, and some other people will probably come out and be like, no, this is everything that's wrong.
Yeah. Oh,
I mean, the whole world's gonna be a mess the next episode.
That's not even a shield. That's a black man's shield. Give it to Falcon.
Quick,
Here, you take it. What?
You all saw it. You all saw it. All those videotapes, they're all deep fakes of me. They're all fake.
What's happening there, Reject Nation? Got a little bit of a scratchy throat today.
We're gonna watch New Rockstars Breakdown for Falcon and Winter Soldier episode 4. Get all those juicy Easter eggs, theories, and whatnot.
Welcome back to New Rockstars. I'm Eric Voss, and this is a breakdown of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier episode 4, in which John Walker avenges Battlestar's death with a punch Steve Rogers bold.
He's already dead.
I'm gonna break down this episode shot by shot
right.
for everything you might have missed.
So
There's a lot of cool details in this. Okay, we open in Wakanda.
Why was that woman laughing? Makes no sense.
This is some B-roll,
just
probably.
like, yeah, wow. Look, he's going ballistic.
Look at what he's doing.
Like, no one would react that
It's
way.
commentary on how desensitized she's
I know, it just doesn't make any sense.
Okay, we open in Wakanda 6 years ago. Now, this series is set 6 months after Endgame, roughly April 2024. 6 years prior to that would be April 2018, which would be just a few weeks before Thanos' forces arrived and T'Challa gave Bucky his new vibranium arm. So Bucky really had no time to enjoy his freedom before being dragged back into battle, which is why he's still not really okay in this series. The Dora Milaje Io does this far outside the city, past a waterfall that could be part of the Warrior Falls waterways, all to keep Bucky away from the crowded areas of the country. And Io repeats the Russian Hydra Winter Soldier activation code, referenced by Zemo last episode and appearing in every episode's closing credits. Actually, this episode, Io actress Florence Kusumba appears right beside it, her name translating from Wakandan, signaling her crucial role in helping Bucky overcome these haunting words. Now,
I heard that Sebastian Stan often has people come up to him and they start doing the chant.
Oh, God.
Reciting it.
I'm sure. And he punches everyone. Yeah, he's able to get away with it.
He starts murdering everyone.
Now, ever since Civil War, fans have looked into these words for deeper metaphorical meaning, like homecoming could be for Spider-Man Homecoming, or freight car could be the train car that Bucky fell from. Though the writers of that movie said that they chose those words because they sounded melodic and menacing in Russian. But here we do get a
They just sounded badass.
because some
It
of
could
the
be anything.
specific memories for Bucky. Furnace brings up the Hydra Colonel with the red book, and when Zemo used that same book to activate Bucky in Berlin, all while Bucky's blood boils in rage over that brainwashing. We see a flashback on Bucky's attack on Howard and Maria Stark, specifically when he choked Maria, and then the word benign comes in with Bucky trying to claw out Tony's arc reactor in the Civil War fight right before Tony blasts off his arm, both men trying to render each other benign and
Keeps losing
neutralize
that
their
arm.
primary weapons. But the shift
Yeah,
comes
it's taking
from
a lot
the
of
word
beatings.
homecoming, which shows the briefest flash of Bucky's final fight in Captain America Winter Soldier when Steve told him,
Because I'm with you to the end of the line.
that was the moment Steve broke through to his old buddy and began the long road to bringing him home. And with that, the Winter Soldier music that has wailed through this struggle
Give it.
fades away, giving way to just some simple piano chords.
What a great scene.
What a great performance.
Great.
And Ayo
great
tells
scene.
him, you are free, and Bucky can't even believe it. He has to look up at her to make sure she just said that, and she repeats,
You're free.
Best therapy ever.
And finally breathe freely. One of my favorite scenes in the MCU ever. But
Maybe that's why he's so resistant towards his actual therapist in the
just about to
U.S.
say. She needs Io to do it for him.
He's like, you do way too much, lady. All you got to do is just put me in front of a fire pit.
Yeah, repeat a few words to me that have intense significance and let me do the rest.
It's hypnosis therapy is what he was going through.
Yeah.
But back in Latvia, Io says,
The Winter Soldier programming was removed from you like a rotten fur.
using the analogy of shaving matted fur from a feral canine, reflecting their nickname for Bucky as the White Wolf. They mention Shuri and King T'Chaka, and Bucky says in Wakandan, yeah, Bucky can speak Wakandan. Add that to the list of English, Russian, Romanian, and Japanese. And here, by calling Zemo a means to an end, he echoes Zemo's own Machiavellian view, where the ends justify the means, and loyalty to tactical allies is not permanent. Back inside Zemo,
gotta read that
questions
damn
the very
book, man.
notion of super soldiers.
It was that warped aspiration that led to Nazis, to Ultron, to the Avengers.
Hey, those are friends you're talking about.
The Avengers, not the Nazis.
Yeah, I love how Bucky had to clear that up. But then Zemo says this.
The desire to become a superhuman cannot be separated from supremacist ideals.
Yeah, in truth, the history of American superhero comics from the 1930s, Superman by Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster, Captain America by Joe Simon and Jack Kirby, were attempts to reframe the idea of a Superman with American virtues and patriotic colors as a response to Nazi propaganda of white supremacy, inspired by philosophers like Friedrich Nietzsche's concept of the Übermensch, in German, Superman. The belief that some men can just be superior enough.
Supremacist man.
Ah, supremacy.
Essentially how Johann Schmidt Red Skull saw himself. And as they discuss this whole Nazi history and the American responses created by Jewish writers, Zemo's window is segmented in the shapes of the Star of David. But the important words that Zemo says are the desire to become a superhuman. Sam doesn't want the serum, Bucky didn't want it, Steve Rogers arguably didn't really know what it was, but John Walker, he wants it. And that is the problem. Now Bucky says,
For the wrong
Serum
reasons.
never corrupted Steve.
Touché. But there has never been another Steve Rogers, has there?
Now Sam might just be conceding that Steve was truly one of a kind, but Sam did meet a second Steve, the old Steve who gave him that shield after previous Steve disappeared in the past. Now it's still unclear how much society knows about old Cap, like he wasn't mentioned in the museum exhibit recap of the Endgame events, and Torres thinks Cap is living on the moon. Whatever's going on here, Sam knows more than he is telling us about that old guy.
You know what's funny is that line that Zemo says about Captain America has been one that I've seen stir up a lot of debate.
So much debate.
Surprisingly,
Yeah.
I'm like, I suppose it can, and to a certain extent, undercut the character, but I think what's so neat about this series is that they constantly find a gray with everything. So kind of finding a little bit of a gray with Zemo's thought process, even on the super soldier serum.
Yeah.
Everyone but Cap.
Well, yeah, I mean, because it doesn't necessarily assuage all of the alliances Cap has had or the things that Cap has done that have affected the world in ways I'm sure Zemo doesn't like, but I think it's just a recognition of, his character as just an individual.
And plus, it just made for a chilling moment.
Absolutely.
Jesus, guys.
Zemo pulls out some Turkish delights.
Turkish delight. Irresistible.
He uses these later to bribe the refugee kids for info similar to the White Witch using Turkish delights on Edmund in The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. By the way, if you have not had a Turkish delight, trust me, they are very resistible.
I never.
Flagsmashers
haven't
react to the
either.
news of Karli's terrorism last episode.
The GRC formally began drafting legislation known as the Patch Act, which would seek to restore traditional border regulations and fast-track the return to normalcy.
Something is off about this scene. This weird sounding voiceover that's loud enough to be heard by everyone, but just coming off of whose phone? There's this overhead shot of Karli standing far away from
it's just
everyone else, and then
convenient.
cut to an immediate close-up where she's
The
just
sound
sitting
design.
right among them, and then this insert of a phone with just a generic news B-roll, no news outlet logo. Yeah, like last episode, I think this is another Flagsmashers scene that just looks super re-edited, which I theorize could be due to a virus-related subplot with the Flagsmashers that had to be removed. Actually, later in the episode, there is a similar moment with Karli's big line.
We separate them, and then we kill Captain America.
Sure, it's not unusual to show reaction shots while other people are talking. That's basic editing. Especially for Nico, who grew up as a Cap fan and will soon die ironically by the Cap shield. But to just use full coverage for this big dramatic line suggests that something might have been reworked in this scene. It's interesting how they've been avoiding mentioning, I don't know how Mama Danya died, which apparently last episode, according to Dr. Nagel, was tuberculosis, but that was clearly an awkwardly jammed in ADR line in that scene. So yeah, I have a video coming out soon explaining exactly what was probably changed and what this mystery storyline probably was. Zemo sings Baba Black Sheep to the kids, and then he tells them,
Didn't notice it,
Turkish delight.
Eric Voss has all one view.
Was always my son's favorite.
Zemo lost his family in the Battle of Sokovia, and similarly, Bucky's friend Mr. Nakajima recalled his son's favorite dessert. These Avengers keep getting people's sons killed. Now, Bucky's pissed at Zemo for playing coy, and Sam says,
He's just gonna extort you and do that stupid head tilt thing.
I love how Zemo untilts his head right after that. Now, Sam calls Sharon Carter over in Madripoor in the
so good.
So subtle.
From Alice in Wonderland.
No
This is all
way.
art by Jisor.
No
That is
way.
an actual Instagram handle for a real Atlanta artist, and this was all shot in Atlanta's Krog's Creek Tunnel.
Oh, how
Sharon
cool.
tells him,
Cool.
Power broker went.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, some publicity for you right there.
You killed the golden goose. Madripoor's about to get real nasty.
So yeah, Sharon Carter is not herself the power broker, but she might be working for him. Like, notice how she gives nods to each of these guards. She's involved in some crime organization behind her personal art dealings, which, by the way, we crunched the numbers there. All that art would add up to a value of over $500 million.
Jesus.
She's not just one
Damn.
person, she's part of a network. Actually, in the past week, Marvel unveiled this awesome promo website, explore-madripoor.com, with wanted posters for characters with references to comic issues they first appeared. Actually,
like an ad.
previously on the site, you
Yeah.
could see ships with names like Mystique and references to Shang-Chi.
Okay, what?
The Shang-Chi report is legit. It does support my theory that the power broker could be connected to the Mandarin or his organization, the Ten Rings. They hide the serum.
I mean, I feel like it is now. Oh, I miss those days. Like the viral marketing was an expansion of the story. I feel like you don't get them as much anymore.
No, now that you have a million like outlets of just the main content to keep up with.
Yeah, or even the Marvel one-shots.
Yeah.
You know, those short films, bring those back.
Do it.
Get a Sharon Carter short film that will not become canon.
Confuses even more.
Power broker could be connected to the Mandarin or his organization, the Ten Rings. They hide the serum at the grave
Mandarin
of Nico's
with
grandfather,
Mandarin.
Lukas Kovacic, who served with Allied forces in World War II, making Nico grow up a huge fan of Captain America and making it tragically ironic that Cap's shield is what ends his life. Karli says,
Breaking it up.
It's a monument to a bygone era, a reminder of all the people history just left out. If anything, that shield should be destroyed.
you know, Sam suggested the same thing last episode.
Maybe I shouldn't have put it in a museum. Maybe I should have destroyed it.
With him echoing a lot of Flagsmasher talking points this episode, I think it's likely that these two are going to partner up. Now, when Walker and Hoskins show up, they get the attention of some...
They're undoubtedly going to partner up.
They're going to form an alliance.
They're
with somebody.
undoubtedly
They
gonna
could
partner.
align with Zemo. They could align with Morgan.
I mean, come on. Like, this episode, they were working, you know, reluctantly, obviously, with Lemar and John Walker. Anytime they have to work with them, they kind of do. But after the last episode, after what Walker did, there's not a chance in hell they're going to be
Ever
working with
again.
Walker. After the connection that they've had with Karli, or at least that Sam's had with Karli, yeah, undoubtedly. That's coming.
Now, when Walker and Hoskins show up, they get the attention of some nearby onlookers who take pictures. A reminder that everything Walker says and does in public will be recorded. And notice how Walker has not shaved, and that scruff just grows more and more until it fills in the final scene. So this guy is going rogue and he is unhinged. Wyatt Russell does such a good job this episode expressing it with all these subtle physical tics, like when he touches his forehead again and again, as if suffering from a chronic migraine. And then in the...
You know, man, Wyatt Russell deserves a
Big respect.
It's pretty crazy to know that
respect.
Kurt Russell is in Guardians 2 as Ego, a wildly different character, and his son playing an antagonist in here as well. To be able to show this range, I don't see Kurt Russell when I see Wyatt
I'm
Russell.
distracted. I like you bringing it up. It's like every time I hear that fact of like, oh yeah, Ego, that's right. It's like it's always a memory jog. Like he's really made it his own.
He's made a character that even after what he did, I see it in the comments. People are like, well, can you blame him?
Yeah. That's the thing is like people are debating him. Like and
people care about him.
Yeah, and I mean that sometimes comes out a little too harshly. Like people really beating on John Walker the character, which you know it's good he's not on social media right now. But like that's the power of a great performance, you know.
Yeah, I think he does an amazing job. I love those like slowly deteriorating, being pushed on edge, hyper paranoia, intense pressure type of performances, and I think he does an amazing job at that.
Oh yeah,
it's like a young Kurt Russell would have done.
Yeah, man.
And then in the scene where the girl leads him to the funeral, watch Walker in the background. Right before we cut to a new scene, he looks down and jerks his head to the side right before the cut. Now, at the funeral, there are a lot of child actors, and you know what that means?
really
a lot
annoyed.
of kids looking creepily into the camera lens. Roll the clip.
Yeah, little boy. I'm like, would we not notice this?
Earlier.
Excuse me.
Karli holds
Can't
Dunyan's
they
Hamsa
could CG
pendant.
that?
She opens her eyes.
Special significance to many religions. Normally it has an eye, but here it has a world
There's a
showing
whole
the
line of
origin
dialogue.
of the Flagsmasher logo. But
Oh,
then
neat.
a scramble, and Zemo crushes the serum vials. Actually, director Kari Skogland cuts in from below angles of that blue serum spilling everywhere, swapping in transparent plexiglass for the surface. It's a cool visual trick that's used a lot in Breaking Bad to show the blue meth from below. But Walker finds the last unbroken vial.
I bet there was some Breaking Bad inspiration.
Ah, that creepy head tilt and that music as if Walker's got his own super soldier whale. Now Walker threatens Sam to turn Zemo over.
How do you want the rest of this conversation to go, Sam? Huh? Yeah. Should I put down the shield? Make it fair?
Yeah, look at Hoskins' side eye there. Like, motherfucker's gonna get me killed. And then when he sets down the shield and arises, hidden in the background, no one saw this sneaky Dora Milaje. Walker insults them by calling their vibranium spears pointy sticks and questioning their jurisdiction as if he has any.
Yeah, dude, that's a great point.
That's America.
I love this fight. There's lots of amazing
We have
teamwork
jurisdiction
among
wherever we
Milaje.
find
First,
ourselves
Io
to be.
knocks Walker into the spear that was already thrown by the first one, and then Io passes that first one her spear and pulling out the other one's wedge spear. Trading spears. Oh, by the way, trading spears is also what Britney's dad has been doing with the courts. Her money is hers. # free Britney. Now, when Sam intervenes,
I watched that whole
vibranium
documentary.
spear
Don't mock her.
mixes with the sound of
Hey, no, he's throwing support, all right?
and then
Eric
Walker
loves
gets
Britney.
pinned with his shield, and
I love
Io
that shot.
deactivates
Love that
Bucky's
shot.
vibranium arm by hitting these pressure points.
Kill Bill.
Bust them, James.
A little shot.
I love that look that he gives. I just love it. It's like, I thought you trusted me. You know, that's like
I thought
the
I
look.
was free.
Yeah, I thought I was free. And she calls him James, not White Wolf here.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy, man.
Really get through to him.
Bust them, James.
A little shout out to Bast, the Wakandan panther deity. And when Bucky pops it back on, it emits a purple glow. The color Shuri's Black
Absolutely.
Panther tech glows when it transmits kinetic energy. Also, there's a bit of a hexagonal pattern there, like everything in Shuri's lab. It's not Mephisto, shut up. And then Bucky swings
You
his
shut
arm
up.
around
You
his
started
shoulder.
so much of that.
Just like he did in Captain America Winter Soldier. Dora Milaje
Just wishes it would go
flips the
away.
shield to her arm, Cap's big move from the elevator in Captain America Winter Soldier, and a move Taskmaster will do in Black Widow. Could Taskmaster be a Wakandan? No, well, maybe.
It's
I
just
don't know.
a
I think you can do
cool
this
way
if you
to
really
pick
know
up a
your way
shield.
around vibranium. And Walker wallows in defeat.
They weren't even super soldier.
Dude.
Composer Henry Jackman brings back the music from Civil War during Cap and Tony's final fight.
noticed that when I was editing that video.
El Chapo, referencing the Mexican crime boss who tunneled out of prison via a bathroom escape hatch. And Hoskins says about the serum,
Power just makes a person more of themselves, right?
echoing the words of Dr. Erskine, who told Steve Rogers that the serum amplifies whatever character traits that the person has
Like
inside.
money.
And after going home, they
just
changed
like
Sam's
money.
Falcon suit and Bucky's fighting leather.
And
They
power.
confront Karli, who says that she doesn't want to kill them because...
You're not hiding behind a shield.
And then moments later, Walker enters, hiding behind his shield, gun out. It's actually similar to Steve's entrance with the Howling Commandos in the first Cap film. Now, when Sharon calls, notice she has a bloody lip with scars on her
That's
knuckles.
true.
I figured these were from her scuffle in the
But it wasn't
shipyard
in the
last
last
episode,
shot.
but it didn't look like she had that whip
No,
in the scene
no.
earlier. She did say Madripoor was about to get nasty. She might have had to endure the Power Broker's wrath for letting Nagel get killed.
Marvel
Walker
one-shot.
wedges the shield in the wall, still adjusting to his new super soldier strength now that he's juiced up. And notice how he twitches.
Yeah.
This guy is
Oh, yeah.
losing control over his own body. Walker growls.
What's with all the knives?
Maybe a callback to Howard Stark's line in the first Cap film.
Hydra's not gonna attack you with a pocket knife.
Walker flings a knife off his shield, nearly killing Bucky, who grabs it midair.
It's the second time, yeah, and the highway chase, yeah.
He grabs a lot of stuff midair.
That's a
That's
lot.
Bucky's
His
thing.
knife to do his cool knife flip move that he also did in Winter Soldier. Meanwhile, Hoskins cuts himself free from a room with dripping shower heads of doom, just in time to save Walker from Karli, but he gets punched into a column, killing him. Now, in the comics, the killing of Walker's parents by the Watchdogs causes his mental break, but here it is a loss of his best friend, and you can see a bit of blood trickles from above his ear, as if he's had some kind of head wound, maybe even concussed. Walker jumps through the window to the street below, a reversal of Cap's big jump up through the window in Civil War, reflecting Walker's moral descent. And Nico pleads for his life.
Oh, wow.
Brings
That's a
that
good
shield
one.
into the guy's chest.
Visual
The same
symbolism.
move Cap did to finish the fight against Iron Man in Civil War. But whereas Cap delivered just one blow to Tony's chest to depower his armor and spare Tony's life, Walker smashes it into Nico's chest again and again. True savage overkill. And it is heartbreaking to see Nico, a childhood Cap fan,
It's ironic.
now screaming
It
in
is-
terror,
one would
framed
say
with
ironic.
This same symbol bearing down on him until the whole thing eclipses his face in the frame. And that is the last time we see Nico's face when he is alive. Now, this is taking place in Riga, Latvia. Actually, that's
All right, let's pause for a sec. So a lot of people have been talking about it. I just did like my own little visual edit, cutting back and forth. It's like a minute long between that scene and the Civil War scene with Cap slamming down the shield. I'll just play it.
preserve it. My father made that shield.
A lot of people have done breakdowns of that, and there's a big debate of like, it's not the same thing. It's not the same context. But I would say that it's still a visual parallel that I think Karli Skoglund is intentionally drawing here. People are going, if that happened to Bucky, Cap would have done the same thing. And I don't think so. I think what's demonstrated in Cap's character is that he's more merciful. Someone pointed out in the comments in that video, one thing that seemed powerful about the scene with Iron Man is that it looked like he had a moment where he contemplated killing Tony because Tony was dead set on killing Bucky, his best friend, his Lemar. And I also brought it back to First Avenger when Bucky dies on the freight train. Cap didn't go on some murderous revenge spree.
Yeah, he didn't absolve himself of responsibility or the realities around him. Yeah.
Like this guy who did, ironically, tragically die at the hands of John Walker, the new Captain America. He wasn't even responsible for Lamar's death.
No.
And then Walker just took it out on him.
On that guy.
And some people are like, well, there's another difference is that Walker's killing a terrorist. And that's a whole other debate because some people side with the Flagsmashers and some don't. You know?
That's part of the point of the arguments the show's bringing up in the first place is so that we can be debating these things.
But does that make it okay, though, for him to do it just because it's a terrorist? That's why I think it's so powerful about that scene. And it is, bottom line, it is a visual parallel. So while the context surrounding it definitely has its differences, and I think that's 100% valid.
That's what makes it interesting is that they are different, but they are filmed in such a way that is very evocative of each other.
Yeah, because I don't think Captain America would have, Steve Rogers would have gone down this path.
Not succumb to rage that way.
Actually, that statue face with the 3 stars in the credits every episode, that's of the Freedom Monument in the city of Riga. However, they didn't shoot this scene in Latvia. They shot it in Prague. That nearby statue is that of Josef Jungmann, Czech poet and linguist who actually created the modern Czech language. But Nico dies on a nearby platform that was constructed as a set piece, and it reads, God bless Latvia, which was probably built so they wouldn't piss off local Prague city officials by beating a dude to death on a beloved monument.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, this is horrific. This episode is titled The Whole World is Watching, a chant that we have heard with many BLM protests in the past year. And Walker getting recorded is a definite nod to the countless recordings of police brutality.
Keep politics out of my politics show.
Keep your politics out of my allegory.
Walker are everything. Because we know from Cap's exhibit that street level imagery can get immortalized. That photo of him using the car door as a shield in his exhibit was actually, if you go back to that first Cap film, snapped by a photographer in the background. Like all these photographers.
Wow! What a detail!
Nice. Focus goes to, not even aware of what they're staring at, until we end on the final shocking reveal, the Captain America shield covered in blood. Honestly, more blood than MCU titles really ever typically show.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the even scarier hidden detail in the shot, look at Walker's other hand. It continues to twitch as we cut to black. His inner demons are now fully in control. Hey, by the way, this is our new Anarchy Assembled shirt. It's available at newrockstarsmerch.com.
Get that shirt.
And if you've been following our weekly fitness series, Fitness Origins, the daily workouts that Tommy and I have been doing can actually be found on the Epic Hero Fitness YouTube channel so that you can join us in this journey.
Philip Molina, you
check out other
son of a
BTS
bitch,
footage
dude.
We'll be posting there. So yeah, go over, subscribe to the Epic Hero Fitness YouTube channel. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at EA Boss. Follow the New Rockstars and subscribe to New Rockstars here on YouTube for breakdowns of everything Marvel. Thanks for watching. Bye.
I just realized.
What did you realize?
There was no music throughout that whole video.
I know.
The music going off here just made me realize that.
I was like, oh yeah. Yeah, it's a good contrast though. You gotta mix it up. You gotta evolve the tone and style of each of these breakdowns to keep it fresh.
I think this is the turning point for the series.
Absolutely.
Episode 4.
This is the point of no return.
This is the point where people start debating. This is the point where people... I feel like the conversations were already happening, but now with this, I'm like, oh, let the conversations... And I feel like there's just going to be more shit to come. I'm like, what are they going to do with John Walker next episode? Are they going to pardon him? Are they just going to let him go? You know?
Yeah, well,
like the way how, like with police brutality, how that's kind of reflecting that moment.
Like you get that division of like some people will probably come out and be like, he absolutely did the right thing, America, and some other people will probably come out and be like, no, this is everything that's wrong.
Yeah. Oh,
I mean, the whole world's gonna be a mess the next episode.
That's not even a shield. That's a black man's shield. Give it to Falcon.
Quick,
you take it. What?
You all saw it. You all saw it. All those videotapes, they're all deep fakes of me. They're all fake. I mean, at this point.
No, what if the show does something like that? Anywho, guys, New Rockstars, subscribe to them if you haven't done so already. Subscribe to The Real Rejects. Check out our reactions. Hit the like button. And last but not least,
J.N. Valente. Judd Nelson Valente. I was sitting here thinking of a shout out for you, and I was like, we do the name thing, and I know we've done J.N. before, but what does Valente mean? So I looked it up, and you know what it means, Jan? I bet you probably do, because it seems like you know a little bit of everything, but it means valiant, which is the best Disney animated film. But seriously, you seem like a valiant human being. This show is bringing up questions of valiance, and if there's a show that we're watching right now, and an opinion about said show that I'm not getting that I wish I was getting, there we go, that sentence is starting to make sense. It's yours, because you're quite sophisticated, and sometimes the gray areas of life that you're parsing in your words are so gray that I need my own interpreter to get at them. So I feel like you would probably have some very astute things to say about a show like this. But anyway, I just hope you're doing well wherever you're at in the world. If you see this, take care, be well, and thanks for your continuous support. Much love, and we'll see you next time.